And we're live. Hello everyone, how are you today? I'm not sure why there's a little play button there. Things are looking a little different here as I go live, so just bear with me and we'll just make sure everything's working properly. How are you? Happy almost Easter, guys. We're nearly there. And let's see if I can find, there it is. Yes, we're live, guys. Woohoo. I'm going to just expand this so I can see your comments, making sure they're all coming through properly. It's looking a little bit dark on the video. Not sure if that's correct. Hi, Joyce is here. Kim's here. And Teresa from Minnesota. Yep, looks like we're rolling. Thanks, guys. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm also cross-posting to my IRESTORESTUFF page today, so want to see you all there as well. Here we go. Turn my volume right down. We're going to be doing another fun stenciling project today, and it involves some of these spring stencils and the Easter stencils, since it's almost Easter, and it's not too late to get your stencils. Happy almost Easter to you, says Kim. Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. So let me just, sorry guys. Alrighty, so I know that some of you have probably got kids at home, and this is a project that even they can do. And I'll be doing a few things today, well, mainly a couple of different stencil sets. But in the description of the live is a bit of a clue. I said on the beginning of the description, find an old book or some old sheet music or an old atlas. Now this one's just so old, some of these things. And before my book loving friends get all mad at me for tearing pages out of a book, which I'm about to do today, this is some really, really old book that was at the dumpster at the tip, about to be thrown away. And I thought, it's good to grab some old books and do some recycling, upcycling to those beautiful old pages. This one's actually written in German, so I don't even understand a word of it, but it's going to be a lot of fun to use that today. Old sheet music. So you can often find these just at thrift stores or op shops, which are probably all closed right now, but maybe you've got a stash. Maybe you used to play piano or some instrument many, many moons ago, and you have some old sheet music stashed away somewhere. Okay, so those are some things that we're going to be stenciling on today. Isn't that fun? The other thing I wanted to let you know and remind you about, you've probably seen some of the ambassadors do lives on these this last week, is the brand new premium pine wooden tag sets. So they come in these really thick, well, I think they're quite thick pine tags with the strings, so you can hook them up. So I'll be doing some projects on those today, and we'll also be using one of the stencil sets, which is, so maybe you want to craft along with me, the spring collection. It's called Spring is Here tags, set of 3 mini tags. And these tags, if you haven't already guessed it, fit perfectly on the wooden tags. I've opened a packet here so I can show you. They fit perfectly on these wooden tags. The wooden tags are made especially for the stencils. I'll also be using these gorgeous bunny wreaths to show you a little stenciling idea using the book pages. And I may or may not get to these, but these Scrabble tile letters are super cute, and I thought they are also a fun thing or a fun idea to do on your tags. You can do a tag that hangs on a doorknob of a child's room or something like that, and use the names of the first letter of your child's name. Or your children could make these fun ideas. So it's got all of the letters of the alphabet with the Scrabble tile value. So it's not numbers 1 through 26 at all. It's the actual Scrabble tile value there. So you could even make some giant Scrabble tiles, hey, and have your own game of Scrabble on a huge giant Scrabble board. There's a fun project to do while you're at home with the kids. So there's some ideas. Let's get started on our first idea today, and that is using some book pages to do... Hi Vicky, yes, thank you so much guys for joining in and sharing the live. So if you do know DIY friends, if you know some mums who are homeschooling right now, like everybody else, and they would love to watch this. This is a craft that your kids would be able to do. So go ahead and sprinkle that. You just hit the little share button. I've got an old book here. As I said, it's written in German. It's very, very old. It was out at the trash, and I'm going to tear one of those pages out of that today to do my first part of my stenciling craft. So again, I said you could use old book pages, sheet music, or an atlas. And so we're going to get one of our wooden tags, and I'm using today, you can use any kind of decoupage medium you like. Today I'm just using Fusion's transfer gel, simply because I'm a retailer for Fusion mineral paint here in Australia. So if you are from Australia, you can get that here on my website, IRESTORESTUFF.com. So I'm just going to use some transfer, it's decoupage and transfer gel. Grab a little bit on your brush, and I'm going to put that all over, a nice sort of thin and even coat all over the wooden block. Now be careful not to let it dry out before you get it all on there. I'm just going to be looking for any questions you've got as we go. And as always, on the Essential Stencil page, if you're watching over there today, we'll be giving away 3 prizes to 3 lucky winners. So keep your comments coming. Tell me what exciting things have you gotten up to so far. If you're in isolation, if you've been doing some stenciling projects with the kids, let me know in the comments. All right, so I'm just going to actually place this straight down, making sure that, see, the words actually are fitting on the block. I don't want any gaps around, so I'm going to make sure that they fit on the block. If I get it a little bit off, I can always slide it while the transfer gel is wet. And you want to smooth that down really well. You could use either another block. See, I've got this one still in its packet here, just to really smooth that out, or you could use a credit card or something like that to make sure that you've gotten all of the gel. But because I put a thin layer, there shouldn't be much oozing out on the sides at all. I've done a thin layer, but you do want enough to cover it really well. Also marking on those edges with your fingers, go around there, because that's where once it's all dry, we'll just be tearing that off. Okay, so there it is, the wooden tag set, and we do have just a little tiny bit of the glue oozing out down at the end, and that's okay. That'll all dry off later. And the transfer gel, most of them dry clear, so that's okay. Here is one that I've prepared earlier, right here. So I'll let this one dry and we'll work on this one now. So the next thing I want to do, once that's completely dry, I've just let that dry overnight. Just checking on some of your comments. Yes, Vicky said that she got her Stencil of the Month Club stencils today and was playing around with the quilt stencil. So much fun. Yes, guys, don't forget, Essential Stencil has a Stencil of the Month Club where you get a whole set of stencils every month, and it is so affordable, guys. It's really reasonable. You get so much for your $1, and it's a lot of fun. And you get to join in the Stencil of the Month Club Facebook group where we share all sorts of ideas on those stencils. Okay, I'm just using, you can use an ordinary piece of sandpaper if you don't have Sandy Hands gloves. These are available on my site in Australia. But what I'm going to do is, see the pieces stuck on there, what I want to do is just go to that edge and give it a nice good sanding right at the edge where the paper was, and it just comes away really easily. So I'll just show you that again. Just sanding right on the edge where the paper finishes and the wood block finishes, and it'll come off really super easily. Just a little bit of sandpaper. And there it comes. If there is a bit of glue around the edge, you may find that it has just stuck to the edge. But there you go. I'll just toss that on the floor. There we've got a book page. Isn't that cute? Now remember that our hole is right there in the middle, so you can get, say, a pen or something like that to just poke that hole through. Make sure that you can fit your string through there again. Super easy to do that. Okay, so our next thing that we want to do, and I'm just going to make sure I put my brush, because I'm going to use my brush again, what I do is I pop it into a plastic bag, because I'll be using that on the next, my third block. So they actually come in a set of 3. We're working on these mini tag sets. If you've just joined us, welcome. Oops, I'm sliding through all your comments. Sorry guys, I'll just check. Someone said, how long does my sanding gloves last? Well, that's kind of depends on how often you use them. I use mine all the time, and they do tend to last, I don't know, months for when I use them. All right, so I've got my block here with my book page on it. Again, you could use sheet music. I'm going to show you another little project for sheet music in a minute. Maps, old books. And I'm going to be using the spring set here today. So that comes in a set of 3. You've got 2 floral pieces, one with the watering can and one with just the plain flowers and a beautiful bow. And then we've got the spring is here stencil. So I'm going to start with that spring is here stencil, and you can fit it really easily right on your piece there. So then the idea is to figure out some beautiful colours that you want to use. So right now I think I might, I forgot to get my painter's tape out, but I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on either side of this just to tape it down as I go. Usually I'll just hold it down with my hands, but let's tape it today, shall we? Yeah, don't forget to stay to the end, guys. Just a reminder, because we are going to pick 3 winners, and those 3 winners will email Essential Stencil and they'll send them out a prize. Okay, don't forget that, Sharon, reminding myself. So today I'm going to try and, let's see, a nice springy colour. Let's go with the nice dark green for the words. No, a dark green for the, it's got a leaf wreath kind of style thing, and I'll do a pop of colour in the middle with the words. So what I do is I use my Klingon round furniture painting brushes, because that's what I mainly do. Is I'm from the blog I Restore Stuff and I Restore Furniture. So I've got these furniture painting brushes. They're long bristled for nice smooth brush strokes on your furniture, but I wrap an elastic band around the top so that it shortens the bristles and makes them really a bit more stiffer for a stencil. So I want to get my offloading newspaper, and I'm going to just dip that in there. Everyone say a big hi to Tori, my daughter, who's doing camera today. She's doing a great job. She's helping me with the camera. Zooming in on all the good bits, aren't you, Tori? Yes, guys. I'd love to know, does anyone do anything traditionally for Good Friday? Now, in Australia, one of our traditions over here is to have hot cross buns. And I know they don't, I'm pretty sure they don't do that in America. We have hot cross buns. It's like a little bread bun. It's a sweet bun, usually with some mixed fruit or sultanas in it. Although in modern day hot cross buns, you'll see chocolate chip buns. Okay, I'm doing a little stab and swirl. If you're trying to watch my method of stenciling here. But yeah, that's one of our traditions, to have hot cross buns Good Friday morning. And it reminds us about Jesus dying on the cross, because the bun has a little cross, and I can't remember what they make that with, some kind of, it's not icing or frosting, it's some kind of mixture of egg white and water or something. Okay, so I've got the green there for the wreath. Let me find another beautiful, pretty colour for the words. I need a springy colour. Maybe this coral. Yeah, let's do some coral. And I'm just going to grab another small stencil brush here. Ooh, running out of my brushes. There's one. Now this is a flat brush, and I'm even going to put an elastic band around the flat brush to make it a bit more tapered. Yeah, so the little bottles of paint someone was asking about, they're the tester size. So that's Fusion's Colour Pressed Fern, the green one. They do come in a tester size, which are perfect for craft. Just going to pop my brush in here in case I want to use that colour again in a minute. Now, there's plenty in the lid, which I shook up the paint, I think, earlier. Using this bright coral colour for the words. Can you see that there? Am I in the wrong place? And again, doing a nice swirling motion. Now this one is probably a little bit more translucent, so I may need a couple of coats on this. Oops. Someone asked, is hot cross buns like cinnamon rolls here in the US? I think they're not like cinnamon rolls. They're more of a bun, like a, I don't know how to describe them. I suppose they don't have they could be the same flavour, but I think cinnamon rolls in the US are so much sweeter and they've got all that yummy frosting kind of stuff that you drizzle all over it. That actually looks kind of cute. Being translucent, you can actually see some of the book page words through the letters there, so it's a fun idea. You could just leave it with one coat, so, and just see how it looks and then go over it again if you need to. Sorry guys if I'm missing your comments, but oh yeah, Tori, you got a comment. Hi Tori, you're doing a wonderful job. Thank you, Patty says. Okay, swirling through here. We do hot cross buns in Canada when the bakeries aren't on lockdown. Oh dear, I would consider bakeries essential in this time. Yes, you spelled Tori correctly, Kim. Thank you, she's doing a great job. Everyone's saying thanks for helping your mum tonight, Tori, you're doing awesome. Charlene says she loves hot cross buns for Good Friday. That's awesome. Yeah, I do love hot cross buns. And they usually only are baked around Easter time. And a lot of people but they do sort of tend to get them in the shops a lot earlier than Easter, you know, sort of like Christmas time when... Oh, someone says, we do hot cross buns, cut the top, brush it with egg wash. Okay, yeah, so the way we do our hot cross buns traditionally, I'm just going to go over this in another coat. Our hot cross buns, we will open the bun, so either with a knife, but it's awesome. It's just lovely if you break it, put it under the grill, and then until it's nice and toasty on those two halves, and then nice lot of butter. It has to be butter. I don't do margarine. It has to be the real butter. And smothered with butter hot cross buns are just, yes, yum. It's a lovely tradition. We usually would go to church Good Friday morning, traditionally, and then go back to mum and dad's for hot cross buns after church, because they would have like a 1 hour church service really super early, maybe 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock, then it's morning tea time. All right, so that's looking beautiful. I think that's good for now. Whoop. Let's just lift up this stencil and have a little look. So there you go. Probably words on words. Yeah, you can still see the words pretty well. This is all experimental, guys. So there you go, stenciling on a book page. Now, the, where are they? The flowers, I like the watering can one, are going to look great on that as well, because you'll get more of a solid coverage of all the flowers standing out. Now, stay tuned, because I'm going to let that dry and then do something. I'm going to antique the book pages around there and show you how you can do that. Again, all of the things that I'm using, the stencils that I'm using today, the tags, the links are in the description of the live here and also in the comments, I think. Linda says, I'd love to use a, oops, I missed that comment, but she said something about using a hymn book. Yeah, old hymn books, because, you know, churches aren't using the hymn books anymore, so they're just kind of going to waste. Wouldn't it be beautiful having a hymn and then stenciling over the top of that for spring and having it on display? Okay, I'm going to use that one that I just did again now to show you just one more stencil. Where's my sanding cloth gone? And then I want to show you something else using the music pages and some old picture frames. So what you can do is, could be still wet this, so bear with me here. There we go. Get some old picture frames of things that you've got around the house. I did last week, on my page, my I Restore Stuff page, I did 5 lives of 5 things that you can upcycle in your home. Was that last week or the week before? I think it was last week. We're up to Thursday. And one of the first things I did was picture frames, and a lot of you may have a stash of old picture frames. Just paint them up, make them into something beautiful, and then you can put some of these things that I'm going to show you today in your picture frames. So there we go, another book page ready to go. And it doesn't matter if you have little bits that sand off on the edges, because that's all a part of the antique look. There we go. All right, so where's my watering can and flowers? Let's do that one. Again, just taping the sides down so we can get a good staying grip on there. All right, now the watering can, we need a grey, don't we? We need a watering can grey. Actually, I'm not going to do grey, I'm going to do a sacred sage. Sounds like what we'll need. Means I'm going to have to get another brush. Oh. Yes, someone else said, Terry, there it is. Love this. You could use a hymnal and add words. Yes, you can. There's some beautiful words. Also, don't forget, on the mini tag set, there's also an Easter collection that's got a He is Risen. So that's a beautiful one you could put on hymn pages. He is risen. It's got Jesus and a cross, and then there's grace, amazing grace. So they'd be beautiful. Imagine the words to the Amazing Grace over the hymn Amazing Grace. Hey, amazing. That would be amazing. So I'm just going to use, this as Sacred Sage, another fusion colour that's kind of a sagey, but it's got those grey tones. So I think it would work well with the watering can. Now, I saw Grace do this very cool idea yesterday. She used the black card from the cardstock just to do this. And there probably lots of you already do this, is just to do this moving along. Instead of taping the whole thing down, is, that covers really well, is just move your paper around on those areas where you need to stencil. It's a bit tricky right there because there's a little corner. Oop, there's a leaf going down, so I don't want to get it on the leaf, although I'm going to go over that in a minute. Trying to see where the watering can goes to. There we go. And I haven't had to redo my brush yet. Just offloaded it onto the newspaper, which is the key to stenciling. And you'll see a lot of us say offload your brush, offload your makeup sponges if you're using those. Okay, so there's the watering can. I've just done that around here. Now to get some of that green again to use for the flowers. Probably won't use that one again. Pressed fern. Oop. Scrolling through, you guys are great. Sue says, I knew I picked up sheet music at a garage sale for a good reason. Yes, thanks for the reminder. Yeah, it makes it really beautiful. Yes, that's why I tie the rubber band around there, is to make it the bristles closer, like with a stencil brush. So it's a super easy way to do that if you don't have a stencil brush just yet. Oh, where's my page? Here we go. Offloading. Now I'm going to find the leaves. Now this is the tricky bit. I'm going to have to use some tape for this to tape my flowers up here, because I want the flowers a colour. Oop. But I want the watering can to stay grey, and I want this leaf green. So it's all a matter of taping, moving around your paper. So I'm going to move the paper over to here so I don't get that. Well, that is going to be tricky. I need to pop a little bit more on this side. Trying not to put that tape down too much. All right, here's the green for that leaf. There are ways of making this happen. Okay, hopefully I've got that all. And now I'll put it over this side. There's some more leaves over this way. Little bits of tape everywhere. Well, there's another leaf over there. And some there. Oops, but we don't want it on here. A little bit tricky, guys, if you want to use all your colours. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong with just doing this all one solid colour. You could do the whole thing solid, black to make like a black and white look on the book pages. So, all right, just going to do those little outside bits green. Once again, offloading the brush and get this leaf here. Oops, now I've got some green on my watering can. This is where I should be using my glasses. That would be helpful. Right now, a little bit of green up here for this bit, maybe some there. We're back on, so, guys, I'm sorry about that. Okay, restart, so don't stress. Watching on your phone, Tori. Oh, come on. Okay, oh my goodness, come on. I'm trying to see if it's still going, and yes, it looks like we are. It just stops intermittently, so I'll just keep continuing, and when I see it stop, I'll just make sure I can catch you up on what I'm doing. Okay, there is that one, and I'm going to poke that hole in here again, make sure we've got the string so that we can attach our string. There's our watering can one. You got that, Tori? Oops. And our spring is here one. So I wanted to show you how you can antique, before I put the string in, how we can antique that. And I'm just going to use, you can use tea bags even. You can use a brown paint that's watered down or something like that. So I'll just put the lids on my paints. You don't have to use a specific glaze or antiquing wax or anything, but I'm just using Fusion's antiquing glaze today. Now, you can use also is just a cloth, and I'm just going to use a wet cloth. See if that helps the video stop. While we're waiting, I'm going to take down some names. Okay, is it working? Oh, it looks like we could be back on. Oh, and then it's gone off. How are you going there, guys? Are we still back? Hang on. All right. Whoop, I just got it all over my arm. All right, if we're back, I think we are. I'm just going to show you really quickly the book tag. I'm going over it with some antiquing medium, and I'm just going to drag it over really gently like that because I don't want to take too much away from the actual wording. You could just stick to the outsides of this. You wouldn't have to do, all of the inside, but just however much you like. You can just go on the edges or the wooden tag sets. Just again. Do you want to see it? Okay, it tips on how to string your board. You could do it a couple of different ways. You could put the string through and then tie the knot, but I've just tied a knot here first, and then I'm going to just put that through here and form a loop, holding that knot and slip it through. Does that make sense? And that way it kind of sits a little bit straighter if you're hanging it from something. Also, there is the option to, again, like you've probably done before also, is just putting the the string right through both and then tying your knot up here. So that'll make a little bit of a longer string. This one makes it a little bit shorter if you do the loopy method. All right, so those are a couple of things. Just wanted to show you another really super quick and easy one using these sheet music pages and the gorgeous Easter bunny wreaths collection. So that comes with 3 different bunnies, and I'm just going to use some old sheet music today to show you stenciling on that. Let me just grab the whole stack. Let me see which way side it goes up. It goes up that way. And I've already used one of these bunnies on one over here. I won't show you that. I'll just see which one I used. I used the standing up guy. So let's use the guy that's sitting down. And I'm going to use a gorgeous pink colour, English rose, for this one. Did I use that? Yes. Let me do this and find an elastic band again. Whoop, that one's broken. I tie a band on the top of my furniture painting round brushes. If you've just joined. Oh, you're welcome, Tammy. Thank you so much. All right, yeah, it is a fun project because a lot of you might have just old book pages of any kind, and the maps is a great idea because you could just choose a map, stencil on that, put it in a picture frame. You could choose a map from a city that you live in or you were born in or somewhere from around the world that means something special to you. Maybe your family heritage is from a certain country and you want to use that as a map background for a book page, and then you can stencil on top of that. So I'm using this sheet music today, just thought it's lovely for the Easter wreaths and the Easter theme. And I'm just going to paint this whole rabbit bunny using the colour English Rose. It's another Fusion Mineral Paint colour. And again, you could do this in a lot of different colours, but for time's sake, I'm just going to do this all in the pink colour, which may need a few coats because it's quite sort of translucent colour as well. And I'm just holding it down really tightly instead of taping it down. A little bit of stippling here. Trying to get a little bit more on the page. Sorry, just checking your comments, guys, because I miss a lot of them. Yeah, I like that look too. Awesome. Yep. A lot of you are going to try this. That's so good. And see how easy it is. Even your kids can do it. So if you've got these stencils, if you don't, just remember that 10% off if you use my code IRESTORESTUFF. The link is on the top of the page. So use the code IRESTORESTUFF when you're ordering and you'll get 10% off all of your essential stencils. That includes the Easter ones, the spring ones. It also includes the wooden tag set that we did today. That's the tag set there. Comes with a pack of 3 tags, so you can use them as beautiful decor around your house. Rose is going to focus on cleaning up her house and then do her crafts. Wow. That's discipline for you, Rose. Good job. All right, there's my pink. Oops. And see, this is why you should tape it, because I think I've moved that slightly. And let's see how that turned out. Now, I've just got some old picture frames that I'm going to be using for this. So you can slightly see it there. I could do a darker colour if I wanted to make that stand out a little bit more, which is probably not a bad idea, or use that shadowing effect that I've sometimes used. So I might even try that. Let me just show you that shadowing effect. And I might use a nice soft grey, like Little Lamb, if I can find it. Pastel blue. Nope, can't find it. Hang on, guys. It's all right, we'll just use this sterling colour, which is another grey as well. Ellen says, I could use the map for a few pictures from our last trip to the mountains. Yep, it's a great idea, isn't it? So you can add pictures on top of the map as well as a stencil some words or something. I'll just show you this Shadowing technique. So we've got the pink on there, so we're going to make grey our feature and just add a shadow. So the pink will actually be the shadow for this one. So we've put it in exactly the same place that I had the stencil before. Oops, sorry about that. And it is dry now, so you do have to wait for it to dry. It's damp, but hey, we'll just go along for the purpose of this. So I'm going to move the stencil slightly up and then slightly to either the left or right. It doesn't really matter which way you are shifting it. Now for this one, I am going to tape it down onto the paper, being very careful that I don't tear the paper. That if it's old sheet music, you want to be careful not to tear it. So the stencil itself is not going to look pink, but it will look more grey. In fact, I've used the pink brush to do it, so it's actually going to be a pinkish grey, but don't worry, it's mostly grey. All right. And we should see, when I've done this, a little pink shadow around all of the leaves on the wreath. You could go even a darker colour if you wanted it to really stand out. How's our video going? Oof. It's working. It is better to use this shadowing technique on some contrasting colours. This one probably is going to be quite subtle because both the grey that I'm using and the pink that I'm using are fairly soft colours, not so bright. And offloading, offloading, offloading. Terry says, I have a she shed. Oh my goodness, I'm jealous. Although I do have a really big workspace right here, so got to be happy with that. Especially when working from home. It's a good space to come and do the furniture painting and the craft projects, all of the DIY things. Okay, so got a pinkish grey rabbit and a wreath here on my sheet music. Let's see how that turned out. It's the moment of truth, guys. All right. It's probably shifted slightly a little bit more than what I thought it was going to. Don't know if you can get that. You can see the pink is the shadowing and then the grey is on the top. Yeah, if you're wondering where I'm from Queensland, Australia. So just south of Brisbane, our state capital, in a little suburb there. So there's the rabbit. Now, here is what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that in a frame that I've already painted in a pink. So I've just had this old different other picture in it, and I'll give you a tip for when you're cutting out your pictures for your frames. So when you're cutting out your pages, just pop your page down here, and you could either use the glass or just the board that you're going to use, and drop it right down in the centre of it, because you want to get it in the centre, wherever your stencil, you want the stencil to be in the centre. Get your pen and draw around it to get the right size. Then cut out your picture and you've got it exactly the right size. And don't forget that I'll be picking some winners as soon as I'm finished my live. We are almost finished. Let's stay there. So if you win a prize, Essential Stencil will send you out something from their stash of goodies. I've heard the prizes are great. Could be a stencil, could be an apron. Not sure exactly. Oh, there you go, Tori. Terry said, Zooming helps so much. Thanks, Tori. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to do all this when I'm just by myself, so I really appreciate Tori's help today. I'll have to pay her well. Got some hot cross buns, Tori. Is that good pay? Okay, so let's pop it in the frame, take out the old, put in the new, and obviously that's probably should be dried a little bit further, so I will take it out in a minute and let it dry, but just for the sake of showing you a picture, I'll just pop those in there. There's my little bunny wreath stencil. Here's another one I did earlier with the purpley colour, and that's using the mini bunny wreath sets. You can find those in the description in the live, all of the spring and the Easter sets. And these are the other ones that I've done here, is the little mini tags. So those are a few fun projects that you can do with the kids at home this Easter. Or how many weeks do your kids have on vacation? I'm just going to pick our winners while Tori zooms in on those fun projects and has some fun with the camera. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what have you got planned? How many weeks do your kids have off holidays? All of the things. Oh, better put my glasses on so I can see. Thank you guys so much for watching today. You're amazing. Scrolling, that's all we do. Oh, Lawada said she missed most of it. It kept freezing up. Yeah, I made sure that I waited until it stopped freezing, so you won't have missed much. So just go back and watch the replay, but honestly, the internet kept glitching today. Let's see. All right, where are we? Hope you've enjoyed those. If you've just joined, I'm just picking some winners for our prizes. Dahlia says her kids have 1 week of spring break. How many do you have, Tori? 2 weeks? Ooh. Yeah, the hymn sheet music is a great idea. Oh, good. Sue says she can see the shadowing, so that's great. So, yeah, someone said we will know Tuesday if we go back to school in Mississippi. Yeah, so many people. I don't know if... Oh, yep, somebody in Georgia said the kids are out of school for the entire year because of the virus. I guess that's until May. In Australia, we have our school runs February to end of November or December. So our summer break is December, January, because we're in the opposite seasons to you guys over there. So, yeah, Tori gets a couple of weeks for Easter holiday and then back to school. Hey, Tori. Well, I don't think you're back to school physically. You may just be doing online learning for quite some time yet. We don't know that. Nobody knows. They're updating us regularly. All right, winners for today, guys. Have some prize winners. Stacey Pike, you're a winner today. And Terry Willis Adams, if you're here. Just remember, guys, if I call out your name, you're a winner today, and you will have to email Essential Stencil at support@essentialstencil.com to claim your prize. So Terry Willis Adams, you're our second winner, and Rose Hawley. Rose Hawley, you're a winner today, so thank you guys so much for watching. That's Stacey Pike, Terry Willis Adams, Rose Hawley are our winners for Essential Stencil today. So don't forget, here's what we did today. Don't forget to use the code IRESTORESTUFF in the checkout at Essential Stencil, or just click the links. Any of the links in the description will automatically give you 10% off at the checkout at Essential Stencil. So I hope you enjoyed that live today. I'll be back with more next week, and have a wonderful Easter weekend. Happy Good Friday for tomorrow. Well, that's for me because it's Thursday here. Happy Good Friday, happy Easter Sunday, and have a really blessed weekend with your family via Zoom or via FaceTime or whatever. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. And I just remembered I've got to turn off the live over here. So here I was waiting. Okay, bye.